This is the video guide for 6.2D. In your packet, please turn to page 41 and make sure that you have a pen or pencil ready to make notes as I go through it. To solve a multiplication equation, you sometimes need to find an unknown number. The multiplication array below shows 3 rows of 5 dots. As you can see, I started labeling my array. This is always a good idea when you have a picture to label it because it helps you understand it and it also shows that you understand it. So go ahead and mark 3 for the 3 rows. Then we have a times sign here to help us remember we're multiplying. And then we have 5 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do a count by and go ahead and solve this. I have 5, 10, 15. Awesome. You can use a question mark to stand for any unknown number in an equation. You can also use a shape, such as a square or what I call a blank. In a multiplication equation, you may be trying to find an unknown factor or an unknown product. So in this box, we have some vocabulary words that we've seen before. Take note of multiplication, factor, product, and even the word unknown is important now. We're going to be focusing on unknown in the next couple of lessons. So they have 3 times a missing number is 15. A missing number times 5 equals 15. Those are both examples of having an unknown factor. That's what the question mark stands for. An unknown product is what you're used to seeing when you have the problem and you have to solve for the answer. 3 times 5 equals blank. Now we can solve each of these using our array. So over to the side, I want you to take your pen or your pencil, and we're going to copy these problems down, but we're actually going to solve it. So 3 times, we have a question mark. Think about what's going to go in that question mark. You can even leave a blank there. If you look up here, we have our 3, we have our 15. It's 3 times 5, so let's fill in a 5. Then over here, we have a question mark. I'm going to put a blank. Times 5 equals 15. I have the information right here, and again, referring to my picture, it should be 3 times 5 equals 15. And finally, 3 times 5 equals blank. If we've been paying attention, we know that the product is 15. So these should all be solved over here. Moving on to division. Sometimes you need to find an unknown number in a division equation. The division array below shows 15 dots in equal rows of 5. Did you notice that this array and this array are exactly the same? So this is going to be a 3 again, times 5. I'm going to redo my count by. It's giving me the same information, but now we're going to turn it around into division problems. In a division equation, you can be trying to find an unknown divisor, dividend, or quotient. These are vocabulary words that you've seen in previous lessons and units. So let's take a look in this box. We have the word divisor, dividend, and quotient, or the answer. So the divisor is the second number in a division problem. So we have 15 divided by a missing number equals 5. The dividend is always the first number. That's going to be your largest. A missing number divided by 5 equals 3. And the quotient is our answer. 15 divided by 5 equals a missing number. Okay, let's solve them over here like we did on the above part. 15 divided by blank equals 5. Let's see, I used multiplication up here. I can use my array. I know my missing divisor is 3. My dividend is a blank right now. Divided by 5 equals 3. Dividend, that's that first number. That's the biggest number. Boom, it's 15. And down here, finally, it's kind of like the problem that we always see. 15 divided by 5, and we need to solve for the answer or the quotient, and that's going to equal 3 again. Make sure that you have all of these notes written down before you turn the page. You may pause the video to copy these if you need to catch up. All right, flip it over to page 34, and we're going to talk more about the fact families. We're going to use the numbers 5, 7, and 35 to write 4 equations. Number 1, write the fact family for numbers 5, 7, and 35. Underline the word fact family. Remember, you got to think of multiplication and division facts that use those numbers. So here they already have it for you. This is your example page. The multiplication equations. We have 5 times 7 is 35. 7 times 5 is 35. Notice that they've even labeled factor factor equals product. Factor times factor equals product. Keep those vocabulary words in mind. All right, now here for division. Write the division equations. 35 divided by 5 equals 7. 35 divided by 7 equals 5. We have the dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. Dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. Notice that in these problems, the 35, the dividend stays the same, and the 7 switch places and the 5 switch places. That's all that changed. Look at that up here in multiplication. The 35, or the product, stays the same. And again, the 7 changed places, and so did the 5. It's important to remember, especially it helps when you're double checking. So here are the 4 equations. 5 times 7 equals 35. 7 times 5 equals 35. Look at it again. Same products, switched factors. 35 divided by 5 equals 7. 35 divided by 7 equals 5. Same dividend, switched divisor, and quotient. Look at this for a second. It says discuss. Explain how multiplication and division facts in a fact family are related. Give an example. I would like for you to write multiplication and division are inverse operations. Take a second to copy that down, and I want you to know that inverse operations means that they are the opposite. Just like addition and subtraction are inverse operations, multiplication and division are inverse operations. Don't forget, it says give an example. So you get to write any example over here that includes the same 3 numbers in 2 multiplication and 2 division facts. I'm going to get you started, then you're going to finish it. We're going to do 2 times 6 equals 12. So take a second and go ahead and fill in the rest of this fact family with those numbers. Pause it if you need to, and then press play when you're ready. There's one more part we have to go over. Okay, did you do 6 times 2 is 12? 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 12 divided by 6 equals 2. You can have these 2 facts kind of mixed up. That's okay. Again, with these, they can also be mixed up. As long as they're there, that's fine. All right, the last part we're going to look at is your first worksheet, and I want to give you an example. These are fact families. You're going to make a fact family with the numbers in each triangle. Fill in each box with a number. Fill in each circle with a symbol, either multiplication, division, or equal sign. We've done this before with addition and subtraction, but I'm going to do the first one with you for multiplication and division. We have a fact family of 8, 4, and 2. Still, this is the largest number that will always be on top. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my symbols first. I know I'm going to have 2 multiplication problems, 2 division problems, and all of these are going to be an equal sign. Okay, the biggest number when I'm multiplying, that's going to be my product. So I'm going to fill that in for my answer. I know that 4 times 2 equals 8. Copy that down. And then 2 times 4 equals 8. So I'm going to flip those numbers around. Halfway there. Okay, again, I know my biggest number always comes first in a division problem. Now I'm going to go down. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. And 8 divided by 2 equals 4. That's all there is to it. Good luck!